So, have you ever really thought about the ascension of Christ? It's easy to see it as sort of a quiet exit. The story's over, the credits are rolling after the big drama of the cross and resurrection. But what if it wasn't an epilogue? What if it was actually the main event? A cosmic coronation that changed literally everything. Okay, let's get into this. To really get why this coronation matters so much, we have to back up and understand the problem it was meant to solve. And it all kicks off with one of the biggest, most mind-bending questions in theology. Why would an infinite, all-powerful God ever need to become a fragile, finite human being? The answer is the key to this whole cosmic story. You see, the problem is this fundamental, unbridgeable gap that's baked into the very fabric of reality. It's this absolute separation between the Creator and everything He created. I mean, just look at the sheer scale of this divide. On one side, you've got the Creator, infinite, eternal, existing completely outside of time and space, because time and space are things He made. And on the other side, you've got creation. That's us, angels, everything. We're finite. We can only exist inside of time and space. The scriptures are pretty clear on this. A creature just can't look upon the infinite God and survive. The gap is absolute. And this creates a huge dilemma, right? God gives creatures free will, and the whole point of that freedom is to choose to love Him. But how can you truly love someone you can't possibly know or see or even begin to understand? It's like a cosmic catch-22. For free will to mean anything, that gap has to be bridged somehow. So how do you solve an impossible problem? Well, you do the impossible. The second person of the Trinity, the Son, makes a choice. He willingly decides to cross that uncrossable divide and actually become a part of the created order. And that's what we call the incarnation. It is God literally confining Himself, the infinite becoming finite, so that created beings could finally see, hear, and touch their Creator in a way they could actually process. He didn't just send a memo or a prophet, He became the message. A living, breathing, tangible representation of the God who was totally unknowable. And this wasn't just a random series of events. It followed this precise three-step logic that you can find right in the book of Philippians. First, the ultimate act of humility. He emptied Himself and took on the role of a servant. Second, the ultimate act of obedience. He humbled Himself even further, submitting to the most shameful death imaginable. And it's those two steps that lead directly to the third, the ultimate act of exaltation, where God raises Him to the highest place. Now, here's a huge shift in perspective. The cross and the resurrection, they weren't just for us. They were a public demonstration, a kind of cosmic proof put on display for the entire created order, and that includes every single angelic being. And this is absolutely crucial. The resurrection served as the official, universe-wide validation. It was the moment God the Father publicly declared to everyone, angels, demons, humanity, all of creation, that this man Jesus was in fact the rightful Lord, the Messiah, the King. It's not that He became Lord right then, it's that His status was officially and forever confirmed for all to see. And this one brilliant act of proof achieved so much all at once. It showed God's perfect balance of love and justice. It proved that God's laws weren't some impossible standard because a human being had now kept them perfectly. This totally wiped out any lingering questions the angels might have had about God's character or fairness. And, so importantly, it established His legal right, His worthiness, to inherit and to judge all of creation. Okay, so with His worthiness publicly proven and His authority stamped and sealed for all eternity, the stage was set for the main event. This is the ascension. And it's not a departure, it's a coronation. This right here is the climax of the entire story. The Son, the one who bridged that impossible gap by becoming a creature, now takes His rightful seat on the throne of the universe. For the very first time, a being who is both creator and creature is reigning over everything. He becomes the permanent, living bridge between God and all that He has made. We actually get a little peek into this coronation ceremony in the book of Revelation. All of heaven just erupts in this explosion of praise, shouting, "Worthy is the Lamb who is slain to receive power and wealth and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and praise." His whole journey of humility and obedience earned him this unbelievable universal acclaim. So think about what the ascension actually did. It was like a cosmic promotion that made everything official. Before the ascension, Christ was the promised heir. After, he's the enthroned and confirmed heir. He was the prophesied king. Now, he is the crowned King of Kings. He walked among us as a kind of mediator, sure, but now he is the official high priest and mediator, seated at the right hand of God. The ascension locked in his roles forever. But the coronation isn't the final page. Nope, it's the beginning of the end. With the king finally on his throne, the last phase of God's master plan for creation is officially set in motion. So, from that throne, the king now directs the final events of history, and the sources lay out a pretty clear sequence. First, a period of testimony and trial on earth has to be completed. That's followed by his spectacular return in the clouds, which then kicks off a time of final judgment on the earth. And then, after every being, human and angelic, has been judged, the old order just passes away, and it all culminates in the final renewal of everything, a brand new heaven and a new earth. So what's the goal of all this? Well, it's the ultimate completion of creation itself. The plan is to eliminate sin and even the possibility of sin for good, to perfect the free will of creatures so they freely, joyfully choose God, to put down every last bit of rebellion, to destroy death itself, and to restore all of creation into one beautiful, unified whole. And the final destination of this whole cosmic journey? It's a state where everything is in perfect, beautiful harmony with its creator. It's a universe where God, who once had to be separate from his creation, can now be fully present, everywhere, with everyone, forever. Or, as the Apostle Paul puts it, so that God may be all in all. So, when you boil it all down, the ascension is the absolute linchpin of the entire story. It's that critical moment where the victorious hero finally takes the throne, guaranteeing that everything he fought and died for will actually come to pass. It's not the end of the story, it's the guarantee of a triumphant ending. This whole incredible cosmic drama, from that great divide to the incarnation to the coronation, and all the way to the final restoration, all of it was set in motion so that creatures with free will could finally know and choose their creator. And that brings this huge, universe-spanning story right down to one final, very personal question. In this grand cosmic plan, what is your choice?